Do not adjust your screens. Yes, Out of Pocket is back on this Monday afternoon on the Boom Broadcasting YouTube channel. And you notice there's a couple guys I had to re-invite onto Out of Pocket with the breaking news that we had. So without further ado, let's play the opening video package and let's get started. It's time to get out of pocket. I'm your host, Michael Davis, joined by two guys I invited on last Tuesday to talk about a certain individual at quarterback. This was just a few days before Jordan Love signed a 4-year, $220 million deal. That $55 million average ties Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence as the highest paid guys in all of the NFL. And I wanted to kind of bring you guys back on, not because Izac wasn't out of pocket last week, because he totally was. And it wasn't quite fair, my friend. But I'm giving you a chance to redeem yourself in that way. And we'll also bring in Carsen to hear what I have to say, because guys, I have a bone to pick with the Green Bay Packers organization, because let's just lay it out on the line right here. The Green Bay Packers ruined quarterback contracts for the entire NFL. If you can pay a quarterback based off half a season of good work, what is that setting the precedent for moving forward with quarterbacks who put their bodies on the line for 3, 4, 5 years before they get their next big deal? When is Caleb Williams going to hold out for his big contract here a year or two? This is not what the Green Bay Packers needed to do for the greater good of the NFL. And you're having guys like Dak Prescott in these contract negotiations. And why would you not pay Dak Prescott $60 million now? Like, we are getting to the point, guys, where quarterback contracts are just outrageous, and it's honestly uncalled for, because Jordan Love didn't deserve to be one of the highest paid quarterbacks, tied for Lawrence and Burrow at the top of the list, when you have guys like Patrick Mahomes who, sacrifices just a little bit more money to put a team around him in Kansas City. I'm ticked. I'm upset. And this isn't what I like to see as an NFL fan. I see you smiling, Izac. Why are you smiling?
Because they believe the Packers believed more in Jordan Love than the Jaguars did in Trevor Lawrence, because they gave him more guaranteed money. Which is interesting, because we talked about this last week, and I said, and I wasn't as high on Jordan Love as Carsen was, but I do think that Jordan Love has a higher ceiling than what we've seen from Trevor Lawrence, and not just based on raw production, but it was over the second half of the year, but he produced more. But the Packers did go through this in the late 2000s with Aaron Rodgers. I love your take, but there's one thing you left out. He sat for 3 years. He's up for a deal now. I would have preferred it be less than what he got paid for. I was hoping around 50. But when guys like Jared Goff go make 53, Tua makes 53, a little bit over, they really didn't have much of a choice. They had to. They had to pay him more than that, because he's shown more potential than Jared Goff has limitations, and Tua has massive limitations and injury concerns. Like, he's one concussion away from probably not playing in the NFL again. Mahomes took $25 million less on his cap hit this year. He's pulling the Tom Brady. I love it. I love it. But it sucks that it was after only 1 year. But if he performs like he did last year or gets better, there's a good chance that deal could be a bargain when the next deals are in the 60s. Because if Dak makes 60 a year, that, sir, is a massive overpay. You're paying for 2 playoff wins over almost a decade. That ain't out of pocket. That's just the truth. 2 playoff wins. This many seasons? Hold on, let me make sure you can get them all. How many seasons are we at? This hand's messed up. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think he's played 8 years, 2 playoff wins. Jordan Love played 1 year, 1 playoff win. Facts, man. Facts.
You gonna bring this up, right? Like you're going to bring up the Dak deal, whatever, and we'll talk about what this does for the rest of the league.
Oh, it's crazy. Dude. But it's not just him. The Tua deal was huge, and the Goff deal was huge. The problem is when Tua got 53, I knew Love was going to make more. The Dolphins they didn't wait. They were like, okay, here's what Goff made, 53. We'll give you 53.1. They gave Tua more guaranteed money than Love's getting. Love's getting 155 guaranteed. Tua's getting 167. And Tua, I'm sorry, with all that talent around him, he didn't even put up the numbers that Jordan Love did last year with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. So the Packers kind of didn't have a choice.
Now, Podcast Smitty, just a reminder, you guys can engage. This is why we do live streams 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday for Out Pocket. We want to hear from you guys. Podcast me saying I think a lot of these kids are seeing that they can get the bag early and get out of the league without being crippled. The league is trying to go to 18 games in the future. I mean, you and I talked about this last week with Carsen. Like that's a big deal whether they move to those 18 games or not. But man, this is still way too much money. Max saying it's not worth, it's who is next. And maybe that was the point. Like the Green Bay Packers trying to get ahead of the Dallas Cowboys with Dak Prescott, trying to get ahead of all these other guys. But dude, that much money for a guy who's played half a season.
I got a question. Would you rather pay Trevor Lawrence it's the same amount of money. Would you rather pay Trevor Lawrence $55 million a year, or would you rather pay Jordan Love $55 million a year? Based on what you've seen.
Based on what I've seen and based on how many games I've had to see it, I would 100% go my guy, Trevor Lawrence.
I don't think Trevor Lawrence, I need to see more, but he's had 3 full seasons. And his ceiling doesn't look like top 10 potential to me. Jordan Love does. That's the difference. Trevor Lawrence hasn't done much to elevate that roster. In the 3 years, he's had a sub 500 record, 1 Pro Bowl, 1 awesome playoff comeback. I give him that. But I don't know, man. Like, he hasn't thrown 30 TDs in a year, and he doesn't look like a game changer. I'm not saying that Jordan Love necessarily is, but he's flashed some serious potential.
Wow.
Also, sorry, I didn't know if you wanted me to introduce at the beginning. Do you want us to introduce our shows or do it at the end, Michael? Sorry.
We'll do that in.
Yeah.
Make sure you.
We gotta let Carsen go. Carsen, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I've been having some technical difficulties, but this is just a discussion I have to be on, so I'm calling an audible. But yeah, I think that from what I caught of what y'all said, I would have Jordan Love over Trevor Lawrence too. Just like Isaac said, I just think Jordan Love has higher potential. I think he's shown it just in the few short games that he's played. 9 games plus a playoff game against a top 5 defense. I think that's more than what Trevor Lawrence has shown already. Trevor Lawrence was brought in as a generational prospect, and it just hasn't really panned out like a generational prospect should. I would have Jordan Love over Trevor Lawrence, and I think that he's deserving of this contract. I think it's a little big. I think it's a little much, but that's the market. Michael, you say that the Packers have ruined how the league is going to pay quarterbacks. I think it was already ruined.
The Jaguars ruined it.
Right. Trevor Lawrence did not deserve the contract that he got, but he got that contract. So now you just have to pay Jordan Love market value. You have to pay him what Trevor Lawrence is, because Jordan Love and the people on his side know that he's worth that. So it's not, the Packers did not ruin how the league pays the quarterbacks. The Jaguars did. This was already done. Now the Packers are just following what the rest of the league is going to. They did not want to pay Jordan Love this much. That's why a contract took so long. I'm surprised that it took as long as it did. If they're not, I'm pretty sure that he's tied with Trevor Lawrence. He's not even above. I know his signing bonus is the biggest in NFL history, and he's got all of this guaranteed money.
Isn't, though. They bumped the guaranteed up, Carson. They bumped up his guarantee. Here's what's insane. If you guys want to know, I got some numbers. Jordan Love got 160 guaranteed. Tua got 167. That's wow. Trevor Lawrence got. Trevor Lawrence got 200 guaranteed.
Stop.
Jared Goff got 170, dude.
Stop. Whoa. Carson, what did you say?
Jordan Love is better than Tua Tagovailoa, and that is not a controversial take.
He's better in fantasy, and he's better in real life. Wait. How many playoff wins does Tua have?
Okay.
How many concussions?
Isaac, you've been so big on numbers, and you're like, oh, playoff wins. Tua led the league in passing yards last year.
Tua coming off like 3
concussions.
He had the best.
Dude, he's got a weak arm. He's not even the right quarterback for that system. They'd be better off with a Dak Prescott or a Justin Herbert, a stronger armed guy with that speed. That's not even sadly, that's not even like a hot take. I've heard that all over the place. I think he's got potential to possibly grow, but I hate just looking at numbers, but he really hasn't been that special. The only season they were really that great was last year, and they still got bounced in the playoffs and blew the division.
Here,
man.
Carson, why would you say Tua's, worse than Jordan Love? Because
he is.
Just the talent, the arm talent is just not there. Tua has just an absolute, he could throw dimes, His accuracy is better than Jordan Love's, to be honest. His accuracy is better. Everywhere else in the game of football, Jordan Love is better. He's got a bigger arm. He's better at deep passes. He's got better legs. He's better at reading the field. Everything that involves football, Jordan Love is better than Tua at, and it's not even close. Tua has Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, the best receiving core in the league, and Jordan Love is doing this with the youngest offense in the history of the NFL.
I gotta ask a question.
They're two completely different leagues. They're two you can't even compare the situations, and Jordan Love is still doing more.
Michael, where would you put Jordan Love? Can we do a blind ranking? I need to know where you have Jordan Love, because I'm feeling like it's around 15, which is crazy. Where would you put Jordan Love in quarterback rankings? Who's number one? Is Patrick Mahomes is number one, right? Let's do this.
Well, Mahomes is obviously number one.
Okay, who's two? He's not two for me. He's not even close. Is two Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow? Who do you got?
I'm sorry. I got distracted by Shan's.
Hold on, let me look. Oh my gosh, yeah, his name. Oh man, his actual name. I'm on his Wikipedia right now, and I forgot how insane his name is. It is. Go just Google that. His actual name, his first name, man. It's something. His last name's hard enough to spell. But okay. I got to know this, Michael. This will help me understand your thinking and see how out of pocket you are, sir, on your own show.
Whoa. Isaac, let's get one thing straight. Two things, actually. One, you don't come on Out of Pocket with Michael Davis and call Michael Davis out of pocket. Okay? That's the first thing. Second thing,
I'm gonna bring you on my show, and then you can call me crazy.
Second thing, you think you have all the answers, but just when you think you have the answers, I'm going to change the questions. You want to do this blind ranking of quarterbacks? How about we do this? How about we pop up this overlay for our YouTube audience of blind quarterback stats?
So Jordan Love on the left, and on the right is Trevor Lawrence. Last year. Do you like how I knew that?
Which would you rather have? of those stats?
Left.
32 touchdowns and 11 interceptions to 25 and 8. I mean, 32 touchdowns is just that's a difference maker, you know. That's 8 more touchdowns to only 3 more interceptions. Yeah, I'm taking the.
Am I right though? It's 2022 Lawrence on the right and it's 23 Jordan Love on the left, right?
Well, those stats, my friend, are exactly right. But if you look at those, by the way, that's a good job. That's pretty good.
So like,
I'm sure,
no, man,
I'm sure,
I'm crazy with I'm weird with numbers. I'm a math teacher and I'm like weird with stats. I memorize stuff. I'm into fantasy, so I knew them. So
dude, that's pretty good on that screen right there. And we're trying something new with these
that's cool.
blind
Like this.
quarterback
Fun.
stats.
7 more
Matt,
TDs.
man,
Sorry,
yeah.
7.
But he had 4 rushing too. How many did dang, I don't know this. How many rushing TDs did Trevor Lawrence have last year? Was it 3? 4?
Well, Trevor Lawrence isn't a running quarterback.
No, he's not. I'm betting it was only like 2 or 3.
But that matters. Why are we just saying like, well, Trevor Lawrence doesn't run? That matters. We can't just say like, well, it doesn't matter because Trevor Lawrence doesn't run. Running
You guys
like
are
those
fun,
are
man.
touchdowns.
I love your
Those are
banners.
yards. What are we talking about? Like he's not. Yeah, we know he's not a running quarterback.
Okay.
That's
Trevor Lawrence
another reason Jordan Love is better.
They both had 4 rushing TDs. Actually, Lawrence, surprisingly, dude, last year he had 5 rushing TDs. He's averaged over 300 yards a season. It's not bad. Lawrence actually adds a little bit rushing. It's not like a Jared Goff where you're getting nothing for the fantasy people out there. Trevor Lawrence is a sneaky, solid runner, actually. Jordan Love, though, too. Jordan Love, too, had 4 TDs. So you can add the rushing. Trevor Lawrence on the right had 30 total TDs. Love on the left had 36 in his first season.
Yep.
Ooh.
First season
I think Michael's like a little. Michael saw this deal and he's like, "Oh crap! If this guy's good, I'm gonna eat these words, man."
Dude, you are way out of pocket. Max saying running quarterback should not have more sacks. Podcast me saying Trevor Lawrence is an improvisational runner. And I totally butchered that. Can the teacher correct me on that? Improvisational.
I'm a math teacher.
Pretty sure.
Wow.
So yeah, I pulled it. It was 4 TDs. So yeah, dude, that was interesting that you pulled that up. The only thing that Lawrence was actually better at was completion percentage, and he had less turnovers, but not like a huge amount. And actually, you kind of neglected something. He lost 9 fumbles last year. So Trevor Lawrence, that was sneaky, bud. Trevor Lawrence had 17 turnovers last year, and Jordan Love only had 14.
Ooh, 3 turnover difference.
So Love was
That's so amazing. Wow. 3 turnover difference. What difference that makes, okay, Isaac?
But you were trying to make people see the less interceptions and be like, "Hey, that looks pretty good." I see you.
But if you look at those stats, those aren't far off. Okay, everybody wanted to praise RG3 for his rookie year. I mean, there are so many quarterbacks who are like, they have one good year. Baker Mayfield had a good year in Cleveland. Like there are quarterbacks who are, that one good year. Why are you going to pay a guy franchise quarterback money when he hasn't proven that he's the franchise quarterback? He could be. There's potential.
I think because they drafted him and developed him, and I think that they want to see it. And here's I'm going to give you some Lawrence backup. Maybe they haven't given Trevor Lawrence enough weapons. And I know we could say Jordan Love didn't have a lot to work with, and I actually think there's some truth. But if we're being honest here too, this Packer receiving core could be special. There, to me, I don't know if I see an absolute number 1, but I see way more talent than they had at the end of Rodgers' tenure, where he only had Devontae and nothing else. Now we've got a depth of 4 or 5 guys that look like they could all play and actually play the position. Trevor Lawrence, the problem with him is when Christian Kirk goes down last year, all he had was Ridley, and before that, nothing. So they need to give Lawrence a chance and consistent coaching to see what he's got. My concern, though, is, and it's not a fair example, and I'm not saying Jordan Love is this, there are a few quarterbacks that can carry a team. And I don't know if Lawrence is that. I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying I don't know.
And we
That's
know
my
that
question.
Love is.
I don't
actually
know.
disagree with
No.
that.
I don't know. But they both got paid an insane amount of money, and we don't know. Jared Goff, as good as he was, you saw his limitations in the Super Bowl with the Rams. And even last year in the second half of that playoff game, they couldn't stop the bleeding. Some of that falls on him. It wasn't really all his, like a lot of it wasn't his fault, but a great quarterback might have answered, you know? So, like in the Super Bowl, you saw Mahomes outduel Brock Purdy. It wasn't just that. There was coaching and defense that came into play too. So,
I mean, we could be looking back at this contract and we could be saying, great, it's a steal in 3 years. Jordan Love's being paid the 12th most, and he's a top 5 quarterback. Or we could be saying the exact opposite, where you're paying this guy $55 million and nobody will take over his salary. Like we've seen bad contracts before, like Russell Wilson.
Russell, Derek Carr, Baker could be a bad one. Jared Goff could be one they regret if the Lions fall flat in their face. I don't think they will. They've got a lot of talent. But Tua is the one I'd be worried about the most because of the injury concern. One more concussion. What if he can't play? I think they would actually, in that case, it'd be like an injury settlement. But that would suck because you just paid your quarterback $53 million. And I know he learned how to fall last year, but the dude looked like he might be out of the NFL the year before that. So that's kind of risky. Trevor Lawrence has had some injuries too, not as significant though. So I'd be more concerned with the Tua one because of the injuries, honestly.
Yeah,
I actually agree with you, Mike. I think like it's a small sample size. It really is, and you just cannot deny that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No. Listen.
Hey, listen to the man. We
gotta look at this from both sides. Like he had 9 great games, and I think that quarterbacks really need like 2 years to see. The problem is the Packers had no other option. They had no backup plan. Like Sean Clifford, from what I've heard, has looked awful. He hasn't looked like an NFL player. And if it's not Jordan Love, then it's Sean Clifford, Like Jordan Love knew the position that he was in. It was either pay him or lose. It was either pay him or like set your franchise back years. This is the guy that you gave up Aaron Rodgers for. So, there was no option for the Packers. They had no contingency plan. It was Jordan Love, or it was be not even mediocre, be bad, be awful. Just, like they could not go back to that. So it's like you can look at his, we hope he develops, and I think he will, but we don't know. And you're right, there are quarterbacks that have had one good year and the rest haven't been good. There are quarterbacks who like I said, they develop, and but there was just no, you had to bank on it. If you're the Packers, you had to bank on Jordan Love being great, and you had to give him the market deal.
Can I counter with one thing? I completely agree, and I think it is a little bit too much, but I'm going to counter. This is the Green Bay Packers that have just had Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt of knowing a quarterback when they see one, because they've done this for 30 years. So I'm banking on that a little bit. That is where it's not to me like, I hate to do this. It's not like the Chicago Bears, who might have landed a quarterback in Caleb, but have never had a quarterback. We've had Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. I kind of think they might know that, and they're seeing even more than we saw last year in camp, in OTAs, and they're like, it sucks. I also think it's a case of next guy. Like, Michael, you were saying. So,
yeah.
Joe Burrow got $55 million. Do you feel, as I love the guy, but with his injuries, do you feel good about that deal right now if you're Cincinnati?
He's great, I would take Joe Burrow
a lot. And you can't sign him. The other problem is that we haven't really hit yet, Carsen and Michael, you can't sign him for 1 year. They don't want to go the Cowboys route where they tagged Dak last time. People hate franchising tagging these quarterbacks, and the quarterbacks hate it. Not just Dak, though. Kirk Cousins got franchise tagged. Quarterbacks hate getting franchise tagged, and Love was going to be up after this year because that 1 year extension that the Packers got on a discount for this year. He was going to make next to nothing this year. So because we waited 3 years to play him, unfortunately, you got to pay him after only 1 year. It kind of sucks, but I was hoping for 48 to 50, and this was way over. But when every other guy got 50 plus, what do you do?
Yep.
I mean,
it's market value. It
sucks. I hate this market. It's terrible. Like, I had this argument that Dak should make 60. No quarterback other than Patrick Mahomes should make 60 plus, and he took a discount because he wants to three-peat. He is learning from Tom Brady. It's really smart because when you got these guys making 55 mil, if they suck, you are going to eat so much dead cap to cut them. Okay, sorry. I shut up. I had to hit that. Sorry.
Hey, it's it gets heated here on Out of Pocket, especially when Izac.
We can go a little over 32. By the way, it's fine.
Nice. But and we've seen it in the comments, like, and we've mentioned it and touched on it a little bit, like Max saying Dak set the market 4 years ago.
That's right.
We're going to release a Dad and the Boys episode tomorrow about Sam Williams and training camp updates. So that'll be good. But it boils down to the next guy, and the next guy, it seems like Dak is the next guy.
What about Daniel Jones? How would you feel about Daniel Jones' deal if you're the Giants? They paid him 40 mil. How are they feel? If you watch the Giants Hard Knocks, they actually thought about drafting a quarterback because they don't trust him, and he's only a year into that deal. So this could totally go your way, dude. But Daniel Jones made that deal after throwing only 15 TDs and he was a good runner, 15 touchdowns in a Pro Bowl, and he didn't win a playoff game, but only 15 touchdowns, and they gave him $40 million a year, which was a massive overpay. Yeah. Oh yeah, it is Dak Prescott's birthday. Happy birthday,
absolutely no disrespect to Dak Prescott, by the way, on his birthday, because his birthday is exactly 1 month before me, which makes him, by my metrics, 1 month older than me, and a few years. So I will say this:
are you guys the same year too? That's cool.
Not entirely the same year, but happy birthday to my guy, the quarterback who needs to get paid. Dak
by the Cowboys? Is he going to get paid by the Cowboys?
He's 100% going to get paid by the Cowboys.
Are we sure?
We're 100% sure. Carson, back me up. Cowboys.
I think Dak's going to get paid. He had a great year last year, he was a top 2 MVP candidate. I don't think Dak is the guy. I don't think that the Cowboys will win when Dak is their quarterback. I don't even think that, I don't understand in the regular season, he is awesome. And I understand in basketball, you have Joel Embiid, who his game is fit good for the regular season. But then when you get to the postseason and there are less fouls and more half court offense, and maybe his game isn't as well fitted for that. But football is a little different. Every single game matters. So most people who are good in the regular season are still going to be good in the postseason. Dak just isn't. I don't it must be the bright lights, or I don't know. It must be mental, because he's just not as good in the postseason. That's who cares about the regular season? I don't care if he's an MVP. He could win the MVP every single year for the rest of his career. But if he can't get you past the first round of the playoffs, get him off the team. Trade him. Bring somebody else better in. The Cowboys have been playing this game for a long, long time now. A long time now. And they just cannot seem to get it right. And I know as a Packers fan, some people might say, why are you talking about that? Aaron Rodgers lost a bunch of NFC championship games, But, he still got us there. And you just got to get somebody who can play in the postseason. I think that they're going to pay Dak, and I think Dak deserves to be paid. But he's not – don't expect for him to win you anything. It's not going to happen.
Are you kidding me? You guys are acting like Dak's the problem. First off, you've already broken my rule about no disrespecting Dak on his birthday. Second off,
not disrespect.
You're red. Are you okay, Michael?
Dude, I'm not, because I just looked up Dak Prescott stats. He's not the problem.
He's the
I mean,
problem when it counts,
then
but
what
he's
really
only
is the problem?
one of the problems. Mike McCarthy doesn't know how to prepare teams. I lived this as a Packer fan.
Yep.
That first half, it was not just Dak. CeeDee Lamb was dropping passes. Dak was missing passes and throwing picks. The defense was trash. Dan Quinn was like, hey, guys, I've already accepted the Washington Commanders job. How about this? How about we just give up like 48 points to the Green Bay Packers and suck? And yeah, let's just leave guys wide open. Wide open. I missed that
Podcast.
comment.
I don't know what
It
the
was
problem is if
infactual.
it's not
It's okay.
Dak. I don't, because they had a top 5 defense, and I know
It was
that
Buck
their
by
defense in
playing
the
the
playoffs
Giants.
was not good at all. But they have a top 5 defense. They have a top 3 receiver, and like Brandon Cooks is good. Like, they have receivers. They have the defense. Do they have the quarterback?
My
But the
question is do they have the coach, the owner, the quarterback? Do they have the pieces around the stars that they need? The answer is no to all of them. All of them. That Jerry's the biggest problem, and then it's the GM, and then it's Mike McCarthy, and then Dak, unfortunately, has been messed up by the situation and folds
True.
when the pressure's high. I can provide all the backup I need, but all you had to do was have eyeballs and watch the first half of that playoff game, or have eyeballs and watch the Buffalo game where the whole team just didn't show up, like Green Bay, or the San Fran game where nobody showed up, or kind of the Cardinals game. They didn't really play great in that game either, but especially those first 3 examples. San Fran, that game last year, choke job. Buffalo, choke job. Dak's a Kirk Cousins, he chokes. But it's not just him. The whole team does.
If we want to bring
Are
up,
you okay?
if
You're
we want to
so
bring up
red.
the if we want to bring up the Cowboys and Bills, why does Josh Allen not have the same?
He
critique?
deserves some heat, too. He does.
He never
But
gets
he
it.
doesn't quarterback the Dallas Cowboys. He's quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. So there's less media and attention on him, but he deserves it too because as talented as he is, he's like a Brett Favre. He needs to get by Mahomes one time. He needs to do it one freaking time. He does. Or Joe Burrow. So I'm with you, dude. I completely agree.
Well, also, Joe, like, let's not pretend that they're in the same boat. Like, Josh Allen is just a better quarterback. He's got worse talent around him.
Oh, the Dak? I mean,
yeah, he's a better quarterback than
yeah.
Dak. I mean, he's got worse
Wow, better.
talent around him.
Fantasy
And
too.
he's just a better. He's got a better arm, better accuracy. Yes, he throws way too many interceptions.
Carsen,
way too many interceptions.
I don't want to give like a full. I don't want to give a full top 10, but where-ish would you have Dak? Like if you were ranking all the quarterbacks, I don't want to zip through all of them. I know we got to go in a minute. Where would you have Dak? He's top 10 for me. He's around where Jordan Love is, around 8 or 9, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there. Where would you have him?
I would probably have him 9, maybe 10. I mean, I have Jordan Love at 8, like 7 or 8.
CJ
Stroud, I have CJ Stroud like probably one spot above Love. So I would probably put Dak like right below Jordan Love, or maybe 2 spots. I don't think it's like you guys think that. I think it's like super.
Oh, Josh Allen's won both head to head.
No,
wow.
It's close. But Jordan Love at this stage in his career, he's just got more years ahead of him, and he's just going to develop more than Dak is going to develop at this point.
Guys, just look at those stats. Josh Allen versus Dak Prescott. This is a no contest.
But he also hasn't had Josh Allen he had Stephon Diggs. I'll give you that.
Diggs.
But he never had a Zeke. Dak had a Zeke in his prime, one of the best running backs in the league. Dak has also had a Micah Parsons. When has Josh Allen had a Micah Parsons?
Von Miller?
No, not now. Von Miller's washed. He's barely played there.
Von Miller was
no,
good.
Not in Buffalo. Von Miller.
Bills had a top 5 defense. Bills had
Von Miller. Did Von Miller even have a sack last year? Von Miller's like he has barely made the team.
I just think that we kind of have
was amazing.
There's a certain point when the stats matter, of course, but there's a certain point where you just got to watch. Like you just got to you just got to use the eye test. And I am not an eye test guy. I am avidly not an eye test guy. But there are points when like the teams are so different, and like comparing the stats is really just comparing the teams when we're trying to compare the quarterbacks, you know?
Michael,
you
I
kidding me?
hope you're going to be okay. Man, I had so much fun again. I'm so sorry.
Are you kidding me? We're going to be like, oh. I mean, it matters more of a team with a player stats, but when it comes playoff record, it doesn't matter about the team. It matters about the end. Carson, that was
No,
not
that
okay.
is not what I'm saying. We're comparing quarterbacks. What you're asking us to compare players, not compare teams.
Michael, I got a question. Do you think that Dak Prescott can do all the things that Josh Allen can do? Because I don't even think Patrick Mahomes can. Some of the stuff Josh Allen can do, I've never seen a quarterback do. I'm not saying that he's perfect. He makes a lot of turnovers, way too many. He's 1-to-1, and I'm going to stop bringing stats in. Josh Allen throws a lot of picks and has a lot of fumbles. But do you think Dak can do all the stuff Josh Allen can?
Dude, I feel like Josh Allen can lose you a game.
Oh, absolutely. Josh Allen can lose you or win you a game. I really feel like Josh Allen is Brett Favre, dude. And that's not glowing like praise. He's got a rocket arm and a ton of talent, but he turns the ball over so much, just like Brett Favre did.
Man, it is by the way, it is wilding.
Not only on the screen. Well, I mean, you showed me some, but if you pull that back up, yes, Dak is a better passer than Josh Allen, but in head-to-head in record, he's not as good of a runner. So
head-to-head, that matters about the team around him.
Look at that.
Dak can't play on the defensive side of the ball. Okay,
so we're going to look at this. We're going to break this down. Josh Allen has a better record than Dak. Dak has played more games, so that's 20 more games. So you got to toss out a whole extra season's worth of stats. So I hate when you give me like a Patrick Mahomes versus CJ Stroud. It's baloney.
If we're going with the Dak's played 20 more games, Josh Allen still has more interceptions than Dak Prescott.
Okay, that is bad. I completely agree. That's what Josh Allen's actually not my second quarterback. I actually have Joe Burrow when healthy above Josh Allen because he's just better. He's clutch. He's the only guy who's not afraid of Mahomes too. I'll just give it to you. I have Patrick Mahomes. Then I have Joe Burrow, if healthy. And then it's really close, but I got Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen basically tied for third. And then I'm going to shock you. I've got CJ Stroud fifth. And then I'd go, you're going to hate this, but the only guy who's won a Super Bowl. And until his arm falls off, I got to give it to him. I still have Matt Stafford at 6. He's still plugging away. Like, that team wasn't that good last year, and they got to the playoffs. So until he's done, I got to give it to Stafford. And then you could give me, like, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts. Yeah.
It's kind of like a ceiling versus floor debate. Josh Allen's ceiling is so much higher than Dak Prescott's. Dak Prescott's floor is higher than Josh Allen. The floor can absolutely fall out with Josh Allen sometimes.
So Dak's a better passer,
game, but Josh Allen's
completion percentage is better.
So much higher.
Passing yards, passing
it's not even close.
Games. Also, Josh Allen really started. He was terrible his first couple of years as a passer, but okay, I'll give it to you. Dak looks like a better passer. Josh Allen's a way better runner, and wins more.
Oh my gosh,
that's the stat.
There's only one quarterback who went 3 straight consecutive 12-win seasons, and that's Dak Prescott.
That's a team stat.
Oh my gosh. But he can win more. He can win more than Josh Allen.
But then what happens in the playoffs to both of them?
Oh my gosh. Let's use
Josh Allen missed. Okay, so I'll break it down. Josh Allen missed plays in that playoff game, and not just Stephon Diggs, that cost them against the Chiefs. He wanted in home run plays, and there were several times Josh Allen in the divisional round against the Chiefs, and clearly Mahomes gets in his head because he's never been able to slam, except for that one game that was like, I don't even know what the score was, but they never got the ball back in overtime. You can't put that one on Josh Allen. But Josh Allen goes for home run plays sometimes when he needs to take something safer. And yeah, man.
Yeah. If you give, this is like, if we're talking about these players just in a vacuum, who's better? If you give Josh Allen and Dak Prescott the exact same receivers, same offensive line, same defense, same everything, you give them the same players, Josh Allen is going to be better than Dak Prescott. Nine times out of 10. He's better improvisationally. He's a better passer. He's a better runner. We don't talk about that. Josh Allen is one of the best quarterback runners in the game right now. Like, there are just things that Josh Allen can do that Dak Prescott can't do. And like I said, I think that the floors can just fall out with Josh Allen sometimes with his turnovers, and Dak is definitely safer. He is a safer option.
I feel so bad. Michael, is your face always this red on the show?
Or I like that ceiling of Josh Allen.
Michael, is your face always this red?
Wow.
Beat it out of pocket. You should call it, man. You got to call it like the heat zone or something because your face is like red. I'm like, are you okay? I'm like legit worried, dude.
Did we just come up with a Miami Heat podcast name? I can't take any more podcasts. I can't take any more podcasts.
No, you do a lot of shows. Hey, I just want to say this really quick because I know we got to wrap. I had a lot of fun. Thank you, Carsen. Great takes. Michael, your show's a blast, dude. I've got a lot of podcasting friends on Twitter that I think would have an absolute blast on here. Thanks for having me on again, especially now because when I get back to school, like this time slot you got, like I'd probably be doing it from my school starting next week, like because I get out at like 4 Eastern, so I would just have to like stay there. But dude, I had a blast. Thank you, seriously.
Yeah,
I'm sorry about the Dak Prescott thing. Hopefully, he gets paid soon, and all your worries are quelled, and you can enjoy watching January games of other teams.
Well, I'm 2 seconds away from muting your mic, because I have that power, thankfully. Because I am producing, I am a full dictator or whatever. Okay, so that dude, it's been awesome with you. Even though your takes are completely wrong, completely bogus. Like it was so bad Carsen had to see himself out. But we did go a little bit over today, not by design. But tomorrow's a different story. So wanted to break the news that tomorrow the MLB trade deadline is going to go off at 6:00 p.m. Eastern time. Out of Pocket usually ranges from 5:30 to 6 o'clock. Out of Pocket is getting an extension. We will be, in addition to the Top Rope Tuesday, Out of Pocket will be covering the MLB trade deadline tomorrow. We're going to go a full hour, starting at 5:30, going to 6:30. You guys got a little conditioning up today on the show as a special treat and all the hot debate. I only put Jordan Love on the subject because I knew it was going to take the whole time and then some. Guys, Carsen's going to be doing a Green Bay Packers podcast, the Lombardi Party, here very soon on this Boom Broadcasting YouTube channel. If you're joining us and a Packers fan, you want to subscribe to that. Also, my guy, Izac, the Fun Football Podcast. You guys want to go see his stuff, go follow him on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Go follow his YouTube channel. He's doing a lot of good stuff in all around, still making an impact on kids as a teacher. So, hey, doesn't go unnoticed. Yeah.
You got to check out tomorrow's show. I've got this guy. His name is Ken from Football Learning Academy. He just had Chris Berman on this last weekend. He had Brian Urlacher on earlier this year. He's written a book on the Packers. He's an NFL historian. He's been on ESPN. He's coming. He's our first guest on Blitz tomorrow. It's my other show at 7 Eastern. It'll be on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. Just check it out.
Well, that's enough reason to show up.
I know. I'm like so excited. I didn't know he had Chris Berman on. I was like, dude, no way. He works. He does a lot of stuff with the NFL, so I'm excited. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
And the Football Learning Academy he runs is great. It's so cool. I know you got to go. I'll make it fast. He teaches online school for kids for learning football, and the proceeds go to former players in need. And then he has his podcast where he brings on former players, former coaches. He had Michael Lombardi on, Mark Trestman, the Bears coach. I'll send you the link in a minute. I'm really excited. I need to go listen to more of this stuff. My buddy we were talking about earlier. We're excited. So yeah,
dude, that is awesome. Yeah, link me for sure. Guys,
Absolutely.
Go follow everything Izac's doing with FFP, with the show Blitz streaming tomorrow. And again, Out of Pocket back. We will be going an hour. So get your extra cup of coffee, get your extra cup of water, even cook you up a little dinner and watch Out of Pocket with us. But it's been such a great time. Thank you, Carsen, for hopping in. Thank you, Izac,
Bye,
for
Carsen.
hopping in. Thank you, guys. All in the comments. Mac, Booking Like a Mark, Podcast Smitty. I'm gonna miss somebody. Scotty. I probably
comments, man. Those are fun. Seriously.
Dude,
yeah.
Great time. Appreciate y'all. And we will see you guys back here on Out of Pocket tomorrow. Plus, don't forget, Mouth It Off with Mike hosts the Nightcap immediately following Monday Night Raw. And I heard there's going to be another Mike on the show. Stay tuned for that immediately following Raw. And we'll be back on Out of Pocket tomorrow at 5:30.